What's up, everybody? Anthony the Molar Man here on my maiden voyage, very first stream. How y'all doing? Welcome in. Just want to talk to you a little bit about my show that I'm on recently, and it was quite a process. It really was. As you know, I'm from New England. I'm from the Boston area, and I auditioned for America's Got Talent back in early February. So I did an audition through Zoom. I waited about 2.5 hours for my turn, and you can only imagine how nervous I was sitting through that audition. And after 65 people, I got my turn, and I did my thing. I did my best in the 90 seconds, after which I watched many others fail in front of me. So I went ahead and they said, why don't you just stay on for a little bit longer? We're going to send you over to another room. So that's what happened. I went into another room and they said, we'd like to schedule you back for another audition, which was like 2 weeks later. And I went to that audition. I did pretty well. And that was with the executive producer. And they said, we'll get back to you in 2 to 3 weeks. So the end of the third week, he called me and said, would you like to come to Pasadena? All expenses paid, blah, blah, blah. So I went. It was like right in the middle of COVID, so you know how it was. Wearing the masks and the COVID tests before you leave, after you leave. Nice to have you here, everyone. Let me see if you guys are chatting anything. I don't see nothing yet. Let me see. Chat. There we go. And so I flew out there, and I was in a hotel with many guests. I would say about, I don't know, 50 in the hotel with me, and they all were acts from all over the world. And so we got to mix it up a little bit, talk to each other, where you're from, what do you do, and many of them were established in a career, such as being in a circus or having their own show in Vegas. And I just said I'm simply a mailman, and they thought that was funny because I'm just like a regular guy who has like a weird talent. So, but they thought that was neat too at the same time. So, welcome in, everyone. I'm also going to entertain questions, so let me see here if I can enable my chat. All right, so here we go. Let's see here. Here I go. So here I am just waiting for them to air me on this Tuesday night. Welcome in, everybody. All right, I'm seeing the chat now. Believe me, this is my maiden voyage. I'm pulling you guys up on another device so I can see what you're saying now. What's up, Sean? Christina, Lisa, Donna? Yes, I'm going live. Can you believe it? I'm glad you're here because, just talking to a screen with 1 or 2 people and it's not fun. But like Pete McDevitt said, you got to get your feet wet. So just jump right into it. So I'm here to entertain any questions about anything. As you know, I'm from north of Boston. As you can tell from my accent, I enjoy traveling. I enjoy entertaining. And that's what I'm going to bring to my channel. Entertainment, fun, interaction with you guys. And also, I'll take you with me wherever I go. So I'm going to New York next week. I hang out a lot in Salem, Massachusetts, where they have a nice ocean front there. We call it the Salem Willows, or the harbor there, harbor. And also, Salem, as you know, is like the witch capital of the world. That's where everyone goes at Halloween time. So the traffic is brutal going through my town during that time. So awesome. All right, Sean. Sean's also from New England. I'm glad Sean's in here too. Sean's about an hour from me. So as you can remember, as I went through 2 auditions online, they had me go to Pasadena for 6 days. And it was a long 6 days because there was a lot of holding rooms. COVID was real. And you had to wait your turn. So there was a lot of downtime. You did commercial shoots, this and that, 10 hours of social media, and just a long time. But when it's done, you feel great. So now it's the waiting period. She must be done with her walk. All right.
Bye.
What's up, Mickey? I picked a good time while they were out. Now they come back, noticing I'm on. Welcome in. So, yeah, so you guys, I know a lot of you in the chat already. So if you have any questions for me, shoot. I'm ready to go. You know? What I am going to incorporate in a lot of my streams is I'm going to incorporate what's called a Molar Minute, meaning every 15 minutes or so, I'm just going to go to town and play some songs. The Molar Minute, you know? So that's awesome. How you doing, Coaster Mom? Nice to have you in. See, y'all can hear me okay, right? So I'm just making sure I got this going. So I'm in my backyard here in Peabody, Massachusetts, about 20 minutes north of Boston. If I continue to go north another 20 minutes, I'd be in New Hampshire. So Hampton Beach. They got a nice casino there, you know. You guys know all about it. Yeah, I saw some others audition. What happens is they pull you off stage. So you're watching an act go on in front of you. So I got to watch 3 acts go ahead of me. And I could see like how the judges were responding that day, because sometimes they're not in good moods. And actually, I saw one act not go really good. They lost, their batteries ran out in a camera for a magic act, so they had to stop the show and he had to go off. And so things don't always go right. That's why they do a lot of editing, as you guys see. Yeah, I'm excited to see how I did too. It is intense. But you get to know people. You're in a giant, you got to understand there's a huge auditorium and they have a folding door down the middle and they keep about 15 acts on one side, 15 acts on the other. You get to know each other. You're all wearing masks or whatever. So I hung out with a friend from Nigeria, a girl from Canada, and a musician from Chicago. So they call it America's Got Talent, but they fly them in from all over the world. So 200,000 did the auditions. So if you can imagine a Zoom screen of 200,000 little squares on it, only 200 of them make it to Pasadena. So it was like a real small amount. And let me tell you this, I know what I do is kind of gimmicky. It's just fun for like parties or whatever. But they need different types of acts for different types of people watching. So they can't just have 300 magicians on, 300 dancers. They have to mix it up for all different, and to keep the judges entertained. So I think that's what they saw in me. So, because I'm an entertainer, you know. Where's my PP link? I'll figure it out later. 8 o'clock on Tuesday night on NBC it airs. It's a 2-hour show. I don't know where I fit in that. I get the list of acts tomorrow, actually. There are 19 acts going off. There used to be 14 acts, but the Olympics, as you know, are starting up, and NBC will be carrying the Olympics for 2 weeks. So that means this show will not be aired for 2 weeks. So therefore, they're squeezing in 5 extra acts a night right now. So that's why you see they put a compilation of like 5 or 6 quick acts in the middle to fit 19 acts in. So I don't know if I'm one of those compilations or not. So we'll see. Hopefully I'm not 5 seconds. Hopefully they give me a couple minutes to show what I do, because you guys will love it if they show the parts I think they will. Yeah, so I told you about those 200 that made it there. Only 140 make television, so 60 of them don't. So there was still like a, 34% chance I wasn't going to make it on TV. So the fact that I did make it on is huge. I mean, I've been on TV before, but this is like the biggest stage during the summer. This is the most watched television show all summer long. So I'm happy to be on there. So you never know. You can get noticed by someone. I can't tell you the songs I did, but I have played them in my other streams. They chose the ones I do. That's the other thing. Let's say you're a singer or you're a musician and you have a favorite song you do, like Stairway to Heaven or something. I say, I want to play that because that's my best song. They may come back to you and say, we can't use that song. Can you play this song by Journey instead? And you're like, well, I can do it, but it's not my best stuff. That's the way I felt with the music that they chose of me. But it's still fun music. I just had better stuff I could have done. So, again, you got to hold their attention for 90 seconds without getting buzzed. 4 different X's. But, I've been on shows where I've failed completely and it still doesn't bother me. It's still entertaining to people, so that's awesome. No voting this time around. These are the auditions. So if you remember American Idol years ago when William Hung went on, she bang. Remember that one? He failed epically, but he made it huge. You know what I mean? So there's no voting on this episode, but those who do bad still make something. They know that I want to be in a commercial someday for like a dentist or for milk, like a milk ad. All the commercials nowadays are kind of gimmicky, and you've seen them, the Geico commercials. Even a caveman can do it, stuff like that. So if I can be in a dentist commercial for strong teeth and bones, the Molar Man coming out of the bathroom playing his teeth after he flosses or something, that's my aspiration. They love that. So hopefully someone notices me. How you doing, Francisco? Welcome in. Mike Wazowski from Chicago, welcome. How you doing, Mike? He's a great food critic, and I met someone from Chicago on the show. Excellent. But yeah, I would love to be in a commercial. I have a whole bunch of dentists following me on Instagram. Not just that, I have Life at Aspen Dental, Delta Dental, Aspen Dental, like all the major dental companies following me. So maybe soon after the show, they'll give me a call or something. I take anything local too. My local dentist who tunes me up every 3 months and sends me off. That's what he calls it. It's not a cleaning, it's a tuning up, he says. It's funny. Yeah, so if you guys want to ask me anything, I'll entertain. As you see, I'm outside. It's beautiful out here now. We just had Elsa go through last night. It poured about 5 inches here, and I had to deliver mail in that rain, which wasn't fun. I feel bad for a lot of the wet mail I delivered. I really do. I can tell you my customers are excited. They all see me as their mailman, but they never knew I had this other side. A lot of people just think I'm a normal guy. Then they say, what are you doing? So, need a manager? That's a good question. I got people lined up to be my agent. Can I be your agent? Can I be your agent? If you can line me up for something at any time. You can be my manager. So if you can get me a gig, I perform at minor league baseball games too. I don't know if I told you that. So, do I get paid residuals for my appearance? No. These shows, reality shows, are for a grand prize. So that's your ultimate goal. But they do promise you a lot of things like social media push-outs. So I spent a 10-hour day doing social media. So my act will be on Facebook, Instagram, AGT website. They push it out on all those different sites. So if you don't see the whole audition, at some point it will be aired on their website where you can see the whole thing. So yeah, you get publicity, which is awesome, and just cross your fingers. Oh, okay. Let me look at the question. Who was my favorite judge? That's a good question. They all are uniquely different, and it's true. Simon has calmed down a lot over the years. He used to be very brutal, but now he seems to have calmed down. I like him actually the most because I like people who are brutally honest. If you stink and they tell you stink, all right, thanks. At least you let me know. Howie, how can I say this nicely? He's a nice guy. He likes to build himself up. He's all about himself, you know. But that's okay. That's his thing. Sophia is really nice. In fact, she walked by me in one of the holding rooms and her heel broke on her shoe. So she sat like clear across from me. And here I am just like 4 feet away from her. And I just want to say, you know, hey, what's up? You know, but she had people with her who won't let you take pictures or say much to her. So I got real nervous and I said, hey, I follow you on Instagram. Oh, thank you. And Heidi, she's also nice. Yeah, she comes in a little bit later. They all pull up in different vehicles throughout the day. Simon had a Bentley. He pulled up in every day. And I will show a vlog of what I did after the show. I got about a 9-minute vlog from me leaving Boston, going there, a lot of the process. And I can't post it now because there are some people in it that haven't gone off yet on the show. And I'm not allowed to show anybody else who hasn't been on the program yet. So I'm waiting to post that. So that's good. Yeah, I'd like to perform for the Woo Sox. I've done the Lowell Spinners a number of times. They're like the AAA team of the Red Sox. So what they do is they have me in 2 times a year, usually during Mass Dental Association night. How fitting, right? So they have me in. The stadium's full of like dentists and all these people. And they hand out floss to like the first 3,000 people. They'll have me go out on the field and take me out to the ball game and then perform on the concourse level for little kids. And they all think it's great. I'm signing little baseballs for them. And I can't sign their teeth because their parents will get mad. But what happens in all this is that because I do something like this, other people try it. And I'm sure some other people can do it. I know there's a girl in England who does it, a famous actress. You can look it up. And she does it, but she does it a little bit differently than me. And a lot of the producers on the show said the same thing. I think I've seen something like this before, but you do it much different than what I've seen. So, but a lot of kids try it. Kids used to do it in school, and then they end up hurting themselves. So I'm afraid that the nation's going to be trying to do this next week, and you're going to have a lot of people going to the dentist getting braces or something, all because of me. Did I get to take photos with the judges? I did not get to take photos with them. Terry Crews I did. That guy is awesome. I could hang out with him every day of the week. He makes you feel so good about yourself. He pumps you up, very energetic. He builds you up on stage. Some people were nervous. He just takes that nervousness away from you. So I got to hang out with Terry Crews a little bit. I do have pictures of the judges. I just can't post them yet. I wasn't supposed to take any. And it was a good time. Yeah. But it's gotten me some places, you know, and I'm just trying to take it up to the next step. I know I'm on YouTube. It's my first time doing a live stream, so I'm glad you all tuned in. I just wanted to do a little chat with you about what's coming up, and I am going to do a chat afterwards once it airs, depending on what they show, so I can go over with you guys how it was for real and talk about the whole thing. Yeah, the Gong Show was fun. That was a reboot, and it wasn't like the old Gong Show where they had judges come out and start going that thing, boom. It wasn't like that. It was the audience had these little devices in their hand. Red is bad, green is good, and you got to last 30 seconds. And again, they chose my song for that. That was "Take Me Out to the Ball Game," which I play at the Spinners games. But it's not my most like fun song, right? And right when I did 1, 2, 3 strikes, that's when the audience pushed all the red buttons and go. So 3 strikes, I was out. But it was fun. It was a quick moving show. I went to LA for it, and they actually paid me for that one. See, I'll do something like that. If they're going to pay me to do it, I'll go. I tried this out because it was during COVID. Everyone was trapped in their house. A lot of people were watching TV, and I said, what the heck? I'm just going to audition online. I have nothing to lose, you know? So I sat there and did it, and things started progressing, and I went to a show that had a grand prize in it. Only 44 of these 140 that are on TV, only 44 make it to the semifinals in September. So again, it's more than half of the people are not going to make it to the semifinals, where you guys can vote. So I love having 11 to 13 of you in the chat. This is great. I didn't expect this tonight. I expected like me and maybe my daughter tuning in, but she's not even tuned in. That's great. My Instagram is Anthony_Molar Man. Anthony_Molar Man. And that is strictly my entertainment site. So everything you see on there is my act, me doing something fun, playing my teeth, or also Disney stuff. As you know, I love hanging out in the Disney community. So I will talk Disney all day long if you wanted to talk Disney. Hey, Sherry. See, Sherry Marr, who is also in Pat's chat, she's my neighbor, actually. She's like the next town over. I still haven't met her yet. We got to meet up sometime. But she does awesome costumes and stuff. She makes T-shirts and things like that. She does a good job with that. Anthony_Molar. There it is, Sean. I made nobody a mod yet. I got to figure all this out. And once I do, I'll make you guys mod. Oh, I see how to do it. Hold on. Let me see here. Let me see if that works. All right, Sherry, type something in. See if I just made you a mod. Because I'm figuring this out too. So I think this is a 15-minute Molar Minute now. All right, so the Molar Minute just came. You know what that means? I can play a song for you. It's called my Molar Minute. So I've been working on It's a Small World. So just pretend you're on the ride. Ready? Hopefully that sounded all right. I think my neighbors heard that. Made the dog bark, I think. Sound all right? All right, good. So some of you are clapping silently, so I think that's good. No, see, some people think it's weird. I don't do this I don't walk down the street doing that. This is something I do on the side, you know. Oh, good. It sounded perfect. Good. You probably heard it from your window, Sherry. I had good acoustics on that one. But thanks, Triton. Did I say hi to everybody? Yeah, I must have. Rachel's Adventures. Very cool. Yeah, I should walk down the street just doing it. You know, here's something else I forgot to tell you. I was on the radio 3 times today. So Sherry will know these stations. Maddie in the Morning had me on yesterday. He's like a big show on Kiss 108 here in Boston. Secondly, Magic 106.7 had me on this afternoon, and WROR had me on. So they're all like kind of rooting for me. The newspapers had me in it. The local paper here, the paper I work at in the next town where I deliver mail. The mayor wrote me a letter. I got a letter from the mayor. It's like, this is all like, is this real? So, believe me, I appreciate your support. My daughter's really my biggest supporter. She enjoys it a lot. My wife's kind of like a quiet supporter. She goes, "You do your thing." So that's what I have going on at home. So I deliver the mail during the day and I perform when I can at night. You know, I'm not famous yet. I'm just an average guy, believe me. Most of the acts they called in on their own. I mean, they were established in circuses, Vegas acts. These are like real people who do what they do. Comedians that are touring the United States. And then me and this other kid were like 2 normal persons who had 2 normal people that had a regular job and just did something on the side. So, you know, one kid played the cello, but he played it awesome, you know. And what do you play, Anthony? You know, I don't see an instrument. See, that's the shock value. They don't know what's coming. So for some of you that watched the show already, this guy walked out on stage. He was an older fella. He walked out with a guitar case, placed it down, opened it up, and he pulled out a pencil that was in the guitar case. That was all that was in it. You know what he did? He started playing his cheek like this. Me and my wife looked at each other and like, oh, that's similar to what you do. Like, kind of similar, but I'm like, oh man. But he didn't even last like 2 seconds. And I'm like, oh, I was way better than him. So, yeah, my daughter's Etsy page. Remember I told you she was going to start one? She hasn't started it yet. Here's the thing. We get all of her belongings, my daughter's belongings, like all her craft stuff. She's just got to go to town making stuff. And she hasn't got there yet. So we're not putting up a page until she starts going to town making things. But it's going to happen. She's very, very artistic. And that's what she wants to take in high school that she's going into this year. She's going into a vocational school. Yeah. Yeah, I made it on WBZ also. That's right, Sean. I don't even know if I'm supposed to leak anything out to news stations like I'm doing. I'm not giving them any information that they're not supposed to have. I was told what I could say, and that's all I'm saying. But they can know that I auditioned, so that's what I'm telling all these stations now. That's right. You know, you talk about Kurt Warner, Sean. He's a quarterback, right? So years ago, people would say I looked like him. The haircut, the shape of the face. I used to get that a lot. Kurt Warner. I'm like, but I don't make his money though. I know. Someone should call Brenda. I haven't met Brenda yet either. Brenda lives in the town I deliver mail in, Brenda D. And she wants to hook up with me sometime just to say hello. So the ball's in her court. I could have met up a bunch of times, but she's busy. She does she teaches figure skating. So she's like on the ice a lot right now. So it's hard to get a hold of her. The Sail Away song? Come Sail Away. Who sings that? Cheap Trick? I can do Camilla Cabello for you. You want to hear Señorita? It's kind of a more up-to-date song. Ready? Shawn Mendes. There you go. little bit of it. See, this is what I used to do in school. I used to drive teachers crazy. Anthony, stop it. Taking a test, I'll stop breaking out in a song. I could never hide. Yeah, Brenda's on the cord. You could, go on the cord and tell her I'm on. Sticks. That's right. Come sail away. I'll learn that one. See, right now all I could play is that chord right there that we're singing. Yeah, so some of you may not know, speaking of Disney, I went there back when the Tower of Terror first opened, and we asked one of the bellhops what the record was for the ride, and he said a local guy did it. You guys hear that dog? It's a police dog. I'm sorry about that. I asked the bellhop, what's the record for this ride? And they said a local guy did it about 100 times. I said, can me and my friends try to beat that? We're here for 13 days. He goes, do you mean it? I'm like, yeah. So he gets in his headset and he talks to the other bellhops on the Tower of Terror ride. He says, I'm sending 4 guys in, get a good look at them. They're going to try for the record over the 13 days. This guy's name was Bob the bellhop. He was also from Chicago. So we went in the first time. The bellhops got a good look at us. We did the ride, went back around, did the ride, and they told us we don't have to wait in line at all for the 13 days. Whenever you 4 come together, don't wait in line. Sometimes the line was 45 minutes. They send us around the back of the Tower of Terror. There's a back door. Let us go up. Didn't even have to wait into that preview room. We just go right to the elevator floor and we'd go on. So we would do this 13, 14, 15, 16 times a day. And it was awesome. And you may say, that's all you did? We were there for a long time, so we literally did almost everything you could do in Disney back then. So the Tower of Terror is what we were going for. And we ended up doing it 200 times in 13 days. So we set a Disney record. Our final drop, they did let us hold a sign, 200 exclamation point on our final drop. And we got to do it after hours. So we were the only ones in the park for that. And so we did the drop. They wouldn't let us off the ride. They said someone famous was on the elevator next to us, and it was Mariah Carey. She was doing an after hours ride too. So I brought the photo out. I don't know if you guys ever saw it. You guys are still in here. This is the 200 times. This was me and my 3 friends. They let us do after hours 200 times. And you can see how the bellhops all signed it. Verified. They signed both sides. Say congratulations, 200 rides. And they made their own sign and left it at the end of the ride. So when you come off the ride and you can buy your picture, ours used to hang there. So it was awesome. It was a great time. We decided to go for it, and Disney made magic happen that time. I don't think that would ever happen now. There's just too many people, COVID's just ending. They would never allow this right now. But when it first opened, we could do whatever we wanted. We went over to Epcot one night, where the stage is, over by the lands where a lot of the concert, different bands perform. I got to go up on stage and play my teeth there back in the day. That's in one of my pictures on my Instagram page too. Believe me, if I see any type of entertainment, I'll try to get on the stage if I can. Hey, welcome in, Dave. Florida Park Explorers just joined the chat. He just reached 1,000 subscribers on his channel, so I congratulate him. I entered a contest on his page. I actually won. So, I don't know. Things are going my way right now. But I want to thank them. They have a great channel if you want to check them out too. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, so being on stage is for me is I don't get nervous anymore. It's weird. I just go up there and just all the nervousness goes away. The waiting makes you nervous. I just want to go and do it, and that's what I do. So here's the thing: we have a place in New Hampshire called Canopy Lake Park. It's an amusement park. You know, a lot of teenagers go there, whatnot, and they got a stage there where they have fake cover bands come on. Maybe a lot of you guys have that in your state too. They might have a fake Michael Jackson come out or something, and that'd be cool if I can get on that stage just to play a little bit. Yeah, Pete McDevitt helped me out a lot. He does sports too, and Disney, and he enjoys having me on his program whenever I can. And he has a hangout night on Friday night, so a lot of Disney creators pop in. I decided to pop in last night on his show and talk a little bit. So he talks to me about, you know, Disney and, you know, my career doing this, and they're both fun. So I'll talk Disney all night long too. It's a great thing. Sherry, you saw the fake Michael Jackson show too? I know. I might stream from there some night just to show you guys that how fake he really is. Thanks. Yeah, so like I said, I'll take you guys on streams either whenever I go out. I have one day off a week. As you know, I'm a mailman, so I do work full time. It's like my own rope drop every morning, 7 o'clock. I go to work and I get out at 5, and then, you know, whatever I can do at night, I'll do. So I'm going to become more regular doing this. I don't know whether it's going to be once or twice a week, but I will. If you know someone who's interested in watching entertainment and fun and Disney, have them, you know, subscribe to the channel too. Your kids or whatever. It's kid friendly. So far, I only made Sherry Mara mod in the chat, as you guys see. But I know I'll get around to getting a lot of you guys in here. Right now, I'm putting my neighbors in as mods. So Sean, you're a mod now. So I like that. Yeah, thanks, Dave. I know in the Disney community, it's so much fun because we all support each other. And I live in Boston, so I'm not in the parks every day. But I can appreciate all those who do go in the parks every day. It's not easy. You guys carry all that equipment. Hot days. I don't know how you did it with the mask on for a while. We enjoy watching the rides from home. We love Disney just as much as you, and we bring Disney home as well. So I got tons of Disney stuff in my house, like I just showed you guys. Back in the day, there's the 200 times I did the Tower of Terror. Set a record on that ride. I'm saving that photo, you know. Yeah, thanks, Dave, for promoting. That's awesome. No one really calls me Tony, so I'm always been an Anthony. Very few people call me Tony. It's mostly other Anthonys call me Tony, so we don't get confused. You know. But this is like the perfect night here in Boston. We just came off the biggest rains from Elsa last night. Now it's so calm and peaceful. That's why I decided to stream from outside tonight. Here in the town of Peabody, Massachusetts. If you want to look at a map, you can see where that is. And you can say that's where the Molar Man lives. Your brother's a Little Anthony? Wasn't that a band name too? The Little Anthony and the Imperials back in the day? I think my dad was singing them for a while. Thanks, Donna. I think you might have already done it. All right. Yeah, it was wicked wet. It came down in torrents. I mean, every 15 minutes you can hear my sub pump over in the corner over there going off. So my cell is like It's not wet in the cellar, but my pump's working, which is a good thing. I think it's kicking it into my neighbor's yard, which is, I don't know. I saw him in a canoe earlier in the backyard. It's all from me. Yeah, I was born in 74, so you can guess my age. Yep. So when I think of music, I immediately try to think of what part of a song can I play on my teeth. So there's a lot of fast songs like I can do the chorus of, but I can't play the whole song. So I can't play whole songs, but I can give you portions of them. That's why you'll see on a lot of my, I don't call them TikToks, but they're like reels of me just doing like, the quick parts of songs that I can get away with. Triton was born in 74 too. Awesome. So you think of the song like Take On Me by Aha. Like Take On. So I do like the solo of that. Ready? So I always try to figure out how can I get that in there. But again, I love the Disney music. So what I do is like I envision myself walking into a theme park of Disney, like let's say Magic Kingdom. You walk down Main Street, you take a left, and you might get to the Pirates ride first, Pirates of the Caribbean. So I'll think of how can I play that song? Then I'll go to the next ride over to Splash Mountain. I'm like, how can I play that song? Then go over to the Country Bears. How can I play that? So that's what I do. And then I start putting things together, Welcome in, everybody. So for those of you just coming in, this is my very first live stream I've done. This is the maiden voyage. So I figured out how to do a few things, so I'm putting it all together. So I'm outside, as you can see. I was just explaining to people at the beginning of the 43 minutes ago of my experience of being on America's Got Talent this Tuesday. So it was a large process, but it was fulfilling at the end. It took a long time. COVID didn't help. My family couldn't travel with me. So I flew to California for 6 days in the middle of COVID. So, when really nobody was really flying at that time, remember? I made the decision to go, double masked up, and went out there and took a COVID test before I left, took another one when I landed. And it was a big process, and I'm glad it's done, but we'll see what comes of it. Now you sit and wait. Hey, Heather's in the chat. Heather from Vacation Exploration. I got to meet her 2 weeks ago, also in the park. I think she's one of the quickest Disney creators there are. You walk at a good pace, Heather. I was waiting for you on the boardwalk, and you were like there in no time. And I appreciate you coming to visit me. I didn't have a park pass that day, but you met me on the boardwalk. That was awesome. We got a nice picture together, and Pete McDevitt showed it the other night of me smiling next to you. He thought I was going to bite your neck like a vampire. It didn't enter my mind. She's got 11,000 subscribers. So everyone is growing in this community. Isn't it incredible? Everyone supports each other, and everyone does it in a different way. You can watch the Crazy Disney Lady, Heather, it's Pat, Tom. They all have their own way of doing it, their own flavor, as we say here in Boston, their own flavor. And each one is excellent. Surf Bum joined the chat. If you guys see Surf Bum, John, he is Surf Bum just became a mod because he is an ex-mail carrier. He delivered the mail for a long time, longer than me. And I think you're down in Jersey, aren't you? And he's been through the rain, sleet, and snow. And he deserves a clap because I still got 10 more years to go. I don't know how you did it. I'm already all done, I feel like. Hey, Jimmy. Jim Ryan's in the chat. Awesome. Yeah, Dole Whip. If you want to talk Disney snacks, I'll talk Disney snacks. Every time I would go down with my family, we would do the dining plan, and it includes a number of snacks, as you know, and we would clean up on snacks where we weren't even hungry for the meals. And a lot of people will say that that's a waste of a dining plan. And in a way, you got to control yourself and your appetite, because I'll walk into Hollywood Studios, I'll head towards the Indiana Jones area, and there's a cart outside that sells funnel cakes. You may know exactly where it is. They're huge. They put ice cream on it, strawberries. It feeds 3 people. And my family will sit there and eat it around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And then we'll head over to Epcot for dinner somewhere, St. Angel or something. And we'll be sitting there going, I'm not quite hungry yet, but we have to order dinner. And we'll end up taking stuff back to the room afterwards. But, I love Disney snacks. I like going into Norway. I don't know if you guys ever had the desserts in Norway. The school bread. I always come out with 2 of those. I can't just have one, I'll eat the Dole Whip. Dole Whip's a must every time you go to, If I was there every day, I don't know if I would have it every day, but I definitely would need an ice cream because it's so hot there. The Mickey bar is one I would get. Hey Everett's Disney, how you doing? Yeah. Oh yeah. The electric lemonade. My daughter likes getting all the drinks there that have anything that's glowing in it. Whether they put a glowing ice cube or the Tinkerbell that glows. We went to Ohana. We love going there. That's one of our favorites. And I think it just opened up, by the way. And the drinks there, the Lapu Lapus and the skewers of meat they just put right on your plate. The noodles, the bread pudding. And while you're eating, if you get a nice seat along the window, you can see the electrical parade go through the water there. And also the fireworks over Magic Kingdom, so it's a great spot. And they got a thing for kids too. I don't know if they've started it up yet, where the kids take these brooms and they put coconuts on the ground and they have races around the restaurant, all the kids. I don't think Pat would like that, seeing all the kids doing that. It gets them away from the table and tires them out some more. I have not tried the Peter Pan float. There's some things I haven't tried, but believe me, my list is long. I need to try a little bit of everything. We just went down and stayed at the Swan. I never stayed at the Swan or the Dolphin before. This was a first for me. And I'll say I like the Swan a lot. The Swans and the Dolphin are different, but they're shared. So the Swan has queen beds. So if you were to say that you're getting a queen bed, if you go to the Dolphin, they're double beds. So if that means a lot to you, the size of your bed, I would go with the Swan. The Dolphin has, I think, more restaurants, but you can share privileges. You just walk over to it. I like the convenience of being walkable to Hollywood Studios, the Boardwalk, and Epcot. When I say the convenience of walking, it's still quite a walk, but at least you have that option. If the line's too long for the boat or the Skyliner, you can have that option to walk. So, yeah, as you guys know, Disney is hot most of the time. I've been in January where it's been sort of chilly, where you had to wear a coat. I posted on my Instagram, and you may have seen it, me doing the yodeling contest in Germany, the Germany pavilion. And what I was wearing was like a long sleeve shirt. It was cold that night, I'm not going to lie. So I don't know how some would do outside rides, but maybe that's the time to do them when it's cold, with no lines. That was one of my my best times there. I got picked for every show. The Hoop-de-Doo review they picked me for. Oh, That was awesome, by the campgrounds. I remember that night I wasn't feeling good. I'm sitting upstairs in the Hoop-de-Doo Review. They have an upstairs, like a balcony. So me and my friend Chris are sitting there. And I wasn't feeling good that night. They give you a sangria. And I'm drinking the sangria and I'm like, I'm not feeling good. All of a sudden the show's starting way, way far away from us. And wouldn't you know it, the spotlight shines right on my table. And the woman from the show is standing right behind me. And she goes, do you want this guy? And they pick me out of everybody. And normally I would be like, this is awesome. So I said, yes, I'll go. I wasn't feeling good. They bring me backstage. They give me a sheet of paper like this with all these lines on it. And I'm reading over the lines. They give you like 2 minutes to look it over. And they say, those are your lines for the show. All of a sudden the show starts and they push you out on stage. And all these other actors that are real actors in the show are talking to you. And you're trying to remember your lines that you just remembered 2 minutes ago. And you're forgetting or you're making stuff up. And that makes the show funny because they're all improv too. So they're like making fun of you and you're not knowing what's going on. And that was one of the funniest shows I've done in a long time. Any of you done the Hoop-de-Doo Review before? I know you got to pay good money to do it, but if you haven't done it, you got to do it at least once. It's a good show. They got people involved. Yeah, I got picked for that show. What other ones did I do? When they used to have Horizons, remember that? Horizons. They would have different like scientist shows where you go in. They would change the color in the room. They would dim the color in the room, spin this thing around with a bunch of balls in it, and they want you to pick out the orange one. It's all on the lighting. I did something like that once. Well, we love staying at the Port Orleans Riverside. We stay at a lot. We stay at Coronado Springs. I've stayed at all the All-Stars, music, movies. What other ones have I done? Before it was Port Orleans Riverside, it was something else, I remember. But it's still the same place. Yahoo Bob used to be over there. He used to do a great job. Sold out every night. Him doing his act, picking on people, singing. It was awesome. Welcome in, Isaac. So Isaac, when I play a song, I was wondering if you could put the words in as I play them. That would be awesome. Duquesne Duke Mom, how you doing? Welcome in. Yeah, Dave, I was on the Gong Show. That was one of the highlights of my career, you could say. Whenever I get a phone call to do something, I'll go and do it. If it's worth it, you know what I mean? Some shows just want you on. I'm like, I've done a lot of local stuff. It doesn't really get you anywhere. Yeah, Horizons. I filmed in Horizons. You're going to laugh at this. They had a portion of Horizons called The Making of Me. I don't know why I videotaped it. I'll have to show you sometime. How a baby's made, like this sperm with a smiley face on it, running down to the seed. Oh, it's and there's a finish line. I recorded that whole thing. I don't know. I was a teenager. Maybe I was going through something. What's up, Brian K? How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Awesome. Yeah, so I'll be taking you guys to a lot of the local places. If I make it into Boston, I'll be sure to turn you guys on, or I'll at least film something. If I go to a couple amusement parks local, if I do karaoke somewhere, I'll make sure my daughter films it. You guys can watch. I always love to entertain, so that's awesome. Yeah, so when I went to Hollywood Studios this past time, I had to get into that virtual queue, for getting the Rise of the Resistance. I drove across the state 3 hours, and we pulled over in some some girls' school in the middle of the state, and 6:59 came. My daughter's on her phone, scrolling to let me know what the time really is at time.gov. I guess that's what Disney uses. She goes, it's 6:59, and she's counting down the seconds. I'm refreshing the page, and I clicked really hard, and I was group 23, so I was so excited that I got to go and do it. Otherwise, you feel like you missed out if that's the only day you go to Hollywood Studios and you don't get to do the good stuff, you know. I got to do Mickey's Runaway Railroad, and that was awesome too. I'm not going to lie, I liked it. And the Great Movie Ride was one of my favorites before. You just have to remember it now, you know. I used to love looking for the hidden Mickeys on that ride when I used to do it. That's like a big thing with me and my daughter, looking for the hidden Mickeys on everything. Because we come home and even look for them in our own house. I used to have these little hidden Mickey paint swatches that I used to get at the store. And when she was like an infant, I used to hide them around the house under things. And I said, it's your turn to find the hidden Mickeys. So like she'd lift up a pillow in the living room. Oh, here's one. I think that's how I got her hooked on Disney at a young age. Yeah, the Great Movie Ride was one of my favorites. The Jungle Cruise, you know, when you do the Jungle Cruise enough times, you remember all their lines. So I don't know if they're changing their routine of doing things, but they're still funny. It all depends on the person you get, you know. Thanks, Sean. Yeah, Rise was awesome. I'm glad I got to do it. When I was in the line, the ride broke down while I was in the line to get in. Like they called my number, and we're sitting there going, "Don't break down." But it started up like 5 minutes later. I'm like, thank goodness. It was fun. I definitely recommend doing that. The Tower of Terror is my favorite ride still. Because it's partial, because I have the record of it. But I love trying everything that's new right now. Can't wait for Ratatouille to come out. Spaceship Earth is still going. These are rides that were supposed to close down and they haven't. Splash Mountain was supposed to change the theming. They haven't done it. So I'm glad I got to do those again. It's awesome. Welcome in, Yadi. It was nice to be on with you last night. You bring so much energy to a stream. You're so like glowing, and it's infectious, I'll say. And I love that sports car you got, by the way. Is that your Corvette? That's amazing, man. Yeah. For those who haven't seen it yet, I know a bunch of you have. I've saved the photo of the Disney record for the Tower of Terror, so here it is, right there. Those are my three buddies. That's me holding the second zero. I was really young then, as you can see. And it's verified and signed by everybody. How many times I did it. We got to do it after hours, which was awesome. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt to ask when you're in Disney for them to make magic happen. It doesn't hurt. The worst they can say is no. For instance, I'll tell you, when I stayed at Port Orleans Riverside, we stayed at the mansions. And if you ever stay at the mansions, they have these rooms that are incredible. They got fireworks above the bed. It's an amazing room. We went back to the room one day during the lunch hour to use the pool because we had dinner plans. We just wanted to relax before we go back out again. So we walked all the way out to our room, and our room key didn't work. My wife pulls out her room key, doesn't work. We're way out there by ourselves at our room and no one's around. So I called the front desk from my cell phone. This guy comes out in a golf cart to our room. He takes our whole thing apart on our door. The thing was broken where that lets you in. Put new wires in. It took like an hour. We're sitting there. So in a way I was kind of ticked off because there went our pool time. You know what I mean? And now we're just getting ready and going back out for dinner now. So I went to the front desk and I just told them the story. I said, I don't know, our room key didn't work and we were stuck there for an hour. Anything you can do? So they gave me, my daughter, and my wife free fast passes, 2 each, for anything, anywhere. So we had like these universal fast passes to anything we wanted to do in the park, which, you know, they felt bad and we got to use them at any point. So we let my daughter pick what she wanted to do with no wait. This is back when the Princess Fairy Tale Hall opened up. All the princesses were inside. So my daughter would dress up and go see them all. So we used it on that. But they make it happen. Just ask, you know. I can't believe KK is Kristen's in the chat. Kristen's awesome because if you watch the Cavalcades of Magic Kingdom, you see KK in the chat. We all remember Bang. Bang's like huge with everybody. You know, he's like the guy that screams the loudest, woo, when he does the cavalcade. So we nicknamed him Bang. And every time Kristen sees him, she puts those Bang symbols in there. And she looks for him now over at Animal Kingdom. So we love that. So KK, you write in the chat. You're probably gonna turn blue in a second. What's up, Isaac? Am I due for another song? All right, let me do another song for you. Let me see here. What do you guys want to hear? Do you want to hear Disney or do you want to hear something else? I'll let you guys pick a song. Go ahead. Amy G in the house. Amy's awesome. I love those bulldogs, Amy. As long as they're not biting the mailman. I like any dog. As long as they don't bite me. They either love me because they think I'm like the ice cream man with treats. They run up to you, or they hate me. So I got both kinds. Don't ask me if I ever got bitten by a dog before, because I have twice. It's no fun, because you got to deal with the customers later, and they're your customers. So you're like, you didn't want to spray your dog in the eyes at all. No, I never sprayed a dog. I wouldn't do that. Hi, other Krista Machado. How you doing? I know. All right, so I'll give you a song. Let's just do let me do the Addams Family for you. How about that? Oh man. If you're at a party at night, this is so much more fun when everyone's drinking. Ah, Anthony, ah. That's when you fall in the pool. Hey, no problem. Believe me, everyone who's just joined in the last 10 minutes, this is my very first live stream, my maiden voyage. I'm figuring it all out. I am not on YouTube live like on my desktop. I'm outside on my phone, got another device next to me, and I'm on Streamlabs, I think, but it's connected to my YouTube. Can you hear that? Someone's car alarm's going off. This is what happens when you live in a bad neighborhood. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, Trip Billy, welcome in. See, I'm loving it because you're all people that I know. And I'm wondering if anybody in the chat is actually a customer on my mail route. Because I'm sure they're going to ask me a question someday. How come my mail was late? Why was it wet? You know? They usually ask me questions and text me on my days off. How come it's so late? You know? Sure, I know. Still going off. I don't know what's going on. Could be my car. So I just want people in the chat. I know a lot of you by name. I have no idea where you're located. Just type in the chat where you're from, and believe me, I'll remember it. I'm good with being a mailman. So Christina, I know you're from Florida. That's about it. Amy, you're from Pennsylvania, I believe. Triton's from Maine. Where in Maine, Triton? I go to Maine all the time. Brian, you're in Western New York. Are you near Syracuse at all? Syracuse is my daughter's best friend's in Syracuse. She wants us to drive up there. Mickey's in New Jersey. All right. I'll tell you a story about New Jersey in a minute. I don't think you can fill your own gas there, right? I had someone yell at me. I drove through New Jersey once. I got out of my car to fill up my gas tank, and they yelled at me to get back in the car because they're all full service stations. They hate it when you fill up gas. I thought I was, okay, what did I do? What did I do? Is that true? Tell me if that's true. North Miami Beach, Yachty. I know. So beautiful over there. Unbelievable. Brian, you're from Buffalo? You must get those storms right off the lakes there. Isaac's in Jacksonville. Jacksonville just had a tornado not too long ago. Hi, Isaac. I remember that. Yeah, you can't pump your own gas. I knew it, Mickey. I pulled over and I'm like, I need gas. And I got out of the car and everyone yelled at me, the whole gas station. The guy came out of the thing, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know. Apparently I don't know. Went back in the car and shut up. Thought they were going to find me. Kenny Bunk. Oh man, I love Kenny Bunk. We go to, oh man, I'll think of it in a minute. There's a place we eat right on a waterfall in Kenny Bunkport, and we go ice skating on a rink they have outside there too. You'll probably remember the name of it. It's right downtown. We love ice skating. I'm from Boston, so. Christina used to live in New York. North Carolina, Donna? That's awesome. My daughter's friend lives in North Carolina. We're going to have to go visit. So you were a mailman in Seaside Heights for 20 years, where they filmed Jersey Shore. Wow, that's awesome. I've been to the Jersey Shore. Let me tell you something, Surf Bum. If you look at one of my videos, the game show I was on that show with a girl from Jerseylicious. So if you look at the 4 squares of the 4 contestants, the girl in the bottom right, she was in the show Jerseylicious from the Jersey Shore. Yep, that's incredible. The people I meet it's oh my word. Yeah, I didn't know that about New Jersey gas stations at all until I was completely shamed. I got back in my car and didn't even look out the window. Yeah. Awesome. All right, Dave. Have a good night. I know you other streamers have other streams to go to, so that's fine. I was just trying to get started tonight. I'm outside in the dark, but let me see if I can light myself up. Right here. Hold on one second, guys. Let's see if this works. That's too bright. Oh, there we go. There we go. Welcome in, people. Yeah, Sam, you're late to the party. That's all right. You can always rewind it. It's I went over my my process of getting on America's Got Talent, and I don't know if it's a once in a lifetime thing. I've seen people do the show more than once. The show does call people back, so we'll see where it leads me. I'm open to anything. Thank you guys very much. Hey, Jaquetta, thank you. The Jaquetta, I saw you just subbed. That's awesome. Believe me, I'm just starting out. I got a ways to go. A lot of my content is like 30 seconds long, as you see, so it doesn't really get the time frame to do anything big. This YouTube thing is going to take a while, but I'm not shy of the camera. I'm just trying to get started here, and I got great friends in you guys, because I've hung out with you in other chats, on other Discords, and you know what I'm all about. You see me putting my tooth emojis in. Now you know why I do it. It's not because I'm a dentist. If I was, I'd be a very bad one. And but I would be making a lot of money if I was. Thanks, Amy. Hey, Ann Gilnack, how you doing? Ann's in the chat. Thanks, Ann. I'm looking forward to it too. It's interesting to see what they put on TV. You give them a lot of content, and they pick and choose what's best for them, obviously, and for the audience. So I don't know if it's 5 seconds. I don't know if it's 5 minutes. I have no idea. I was leaked an act for Tuesday night. I can't really tell you. I want to, but I can't. It's someone who you'll know from the movies. He actually auditioned, and he's really cool. Awesome. Ann Gilnack, tell me where you're from again. I think you're from like New Jersey or something too, right? Or Connecticut. Because we frequent the same places on the west coast of Florida. She likes going over to Tarpon Springs. Tarpon Springs. It's a Greek community on the west coast of Florida. If you've never been there, it's really cool. They got what's called the sponge docks over there, and they call it the sponge docks from the ocean. Everywhere you go, there's hanging sponges everywhere. It's really cool to see. Connecticut, that's what I thought. Awesome. So Hartford's only 2 hours from me. So my brother-in-law is moving to Connecticut. Well, it just moved there. So we'll be seeing him at some point. Cheshire, Connecticut, that's where he moved. Cheshire. Yep, 25 years you've been going there. Isn't that awesome? The west coast of Florida is I love it. That's where I just was. Marco Island, as you guys saw. The oceans are unbelievable there. And I got out of there just in time because that storm was coming. And there was a hurricane while I was there, but it was over towards the Mexico side. So you got to be careful. The weather is real in Florida. The heat, the downpours, tropical storms. I'm here in Boston where we get the snow, which I don't like, but I think I would take, I hate to say it, I would take about 8 to 10 inches of snow over a hurricane. Sarasota's beautiful too, yep. Christina, that's that whole side. My mom and dad visit a town called Holiday, which is near Clearwater in Dunedin. So I go and visit them when I can during the winter months, and then I'll go down to Marco Island and stay at the condo there. So it's 4-hour difference, but it's on the same coast. There's a ton of Jersey in the house. I can't believe this. I love the East Coast people though. This is awesome. Yeah, see, you got to pick your poison where you live now. I have a brother who lives in Des Moines, Iowa, and he hears the tornado sirens going all the time. So, I don't know, wherever you go, there's something. You want to go to California, you're going to deal with the fires. My brother, who lives in California, his brother-in-law lost his house twice in the fire. Can you imagine that? He lived in that town of Paradise. Remember that whole town that was gone? Lost his house there. Got $1.5 million for his house. Bought another house with his insurance money, and that one burned too. Imagine losing your house twice. Can't believe it. Now he moved to Oregon, where they're getting 117 degrees. So you can't win. You can't win where you go. I know I sound like a weatherman, but I'm not. I got 2 brothers and 2 sisters, and I'm the youngest, so I'm one of 5. Believe it or not, one of my brothers does play his teeth as well, but he doesn't do it as often or as much. Maybe we'll do a duet sometime if he lives in Iowa. Yeah, so Boston's a nice city if you ever want to visit. It's small enough where you can walk different places. You got the North End where I like to hang out, right? You got Faneuil Hall. You can walk to the Boston Common, where right next to the Boston Common is Cheers, where the TV show was filmed, or so-called filmed. It looks like the actual bar from the TV show. You can go and I thought everyone knew my name when I walked in, but they didn't. And but it's cool. You can do all this stuff. It's awesome. Yeah, New England's beautiful. So just don't think of it as Massachusetts. Massachusetts is fun and good. Vermont, the mountains are awesome. If you ever want to try skiing, you can go to Killington, Vermont, Stowe, Vermont. The mountains are awesome. Oh, the fall time, unbelievable. You think Disney's crowded during like peak season? You should go to New Hampshire, Vermont, and Maine during foliage season. That's their peak season, and it's packed. Packed. Beautiful to look at, but it's restaurants, hotels, driving around. You can't get anywhere. But it's awesome to look at. I will recommend doing that. I don't know why I left Rhode Island out. That's where Tom's from. Tom's from Rhode Island. Providence, it's got some good things in it. Newport, Rhode Island's nice. I would recommend Newport, Rhode Island. The mansions there, you can go take tours of the mansions, whatnot. Yeah, Triton, you would know about Maine. So we go up to Algonquin every now and again. We love going to Bar Harbor. That's a 4-hour ride. That's almost near Canada, but it's beautiful. You got a national park in your own backyard up there. Cadillac Mountain. It's amazing. Yadi, you never lived in snow? Have you ever seen snow in person? Some people who live in warm climates should see snow at least once. At least make a snowball and just throw it at somebody. You know what I mean? Hey, Lindsay D, what's up? Lindsay D from Canada, I think. I'm trying to remember where everyone's from. But I can tell you, New Hampshire, North Conway, awesome. They have a place called Diana's Bath in North Conway, New Hampshire. And what it is are these cascading waterfalls you can walk to, pools of clear water. You just go right in it. It's clean as day. So it's like drinking water. And you can find your own spot. It's unbelievable. You do know it. That's awesome. No, living in it's tough. Yeah, it is. You're right. But people around here are like, I'll just bundle up and go out, which is fine. You do. You bundle up and you go out. But the wind cuts right through you when it's cold out. It's like, oh my word. And when you're driving a mail truck like me that has like barely heat, as soon as you open that door or anything, or the back to get a package out, all that heat's gone and you're back into a frozen ice box again. Yeah, so Surf Bum knows what that's all about, being from Jersey. I want to thank you guys for being here tonight, man. I didn't expect to be on for an hour and 20 minutes. I thought this was going to be like a 45-minute thing. Yeah, I'm outside on my deck under the canopy just in case, but it's a beautiful night out here. Probably about what, 70 degrees, John? Yeah, the one thing about Florida is I always forget to put suntan lotion on my feet. I made that mistake this past time walking the beach. I do my whole body, but the tops of my feet burnt so bad. Oh, the covers when they lay on it, or when you're walking in sandals, forget it. Thanks, Mickey. So this is what I'm trying to accomplish with my streams, guys. I'll talk anything. I love sports too. I'll do my Molar Minute every 15 minutes. I'll play a song. I call it the Molar Minute. Just a time I'll just stop and play something, and I'll interact with you guys. You can ask me anything you want, and I'll anything Disney related. I've been there enough times to know. I had an annual pass for many years as a teenager. As some of you may have seen in Tom's stream when he interviewed me, one of my first times I went to Disney on my own without my parents, because the first time I went was with my family. Actually, I'll talk about that time real quick. We drove our car to New York City. We drove it onto a cruise ship. So imagine that. We drove to New York. We drove our car onto a cruise ship. That cruise ship took us all the way to Fort Lauderdale. We drove the car off the ship and we drove over to Disney World. I don't even know if they still do that anymore. I was young. And we got to Disney World. It was just a blur because I was so young. But my father gave me $20. He goes, buy whatever you want, kid. I'm like, oh, thanks, $20. I didn't know what to buy. So I ended up going by the Country Bears. And I bought like a big stuffed Big Al doll, like this big stuffed. I think he's still at my mom's house in the attic or something. I can't find him. But thanks, Trip Billy. That was my first time going to Disney with my family. I can talk Patriots. What are you talking about? We won enough times now we can talk about them. You're a Bills fan? They're getting better. I'll agree. The Bills are getting much better. I've always liked the Bills. Anyway, I don't know why. We don't like the Jets. That's the thing. Yeah, I can talk Red Sox, Patriots. I like playing hockey, so I can talk hockey. Basketball, I don't mind talking. The other time I was telling you about when I went to Disney with my friends, we were teenagers and we were kind of cheap. We wanted to do it the cheap route. So we stayed at I think it was like a Comfort Inn in like Lake Buena Vista. And we stayed there for like dirt cheap. It was like $60 a night or something. And we brought our rollerblades with us. So we would take a backpack with our shoes in it and whatever we needed. We would rollerblade to Disney, downtown Disney back in the day. It's not Disney Springs back, it's downtown Disney. Put our rollerblades in a locker, put our sneakers on from our backpack, get on a bus and do the parks. That's how you do it cheap. That's what we used to do. And then we'd rollerblade back at night after being exhausted. And I tell you, when you're rollerblading those sidewalks back to your hotel at night, all the sprinklers are on at these different hotels. So you're slipping and sliding. It was kind of dangerous. I want you to imagine that. We were teenagers. We didn't know any better. I know. The Lightning won the cup. So Tampa's like the winning spot of the country right now between the football and the hockey. Enjoy that while it's there. Montreal. The Bruins and Montreal are a rivalry, so I used to love going to those games. Do any of you in the chat remember going to Disney, downtown Disney, when it was called, what was it called? When they had all the different clubs, like the Adventures Club, the Paradise Club. Used to walk from club to club in there, and they all were pretty cool in their own way. One had a spinning dance floor in it. Yeah, Pleasure Island, Lindsay, that's right. I forgot how to. Pleasure Island. We go to the Adventures Club, and you just sit there in a room, have a drink. Next thing you know, like the clock is looking at you, or like there's a cat tail that moved around, and you're sitting on a stool, and about 20 minutes later, the stool was moving so slow that you're like, you wonder why you're so low to the ground. Like all these weird things would happen while you're in this club at night. New Kids on the Block. Yep, those are all the boy bands like that my wife grew up to. Remember the Wahlbergs? They're from Massachusetts. Donnie Wahlberg. They even have their own burger joints around here called Wahlburgers. In fact, when we went to Logan Airport in Boston, we got a couple burgers there before we left for our flight. They're pretty good, actually. So you do hear the dog, right? So, I don't know. My neighbor could be on the stream. Who knows? He's a canine. He's a police dog being trained. So he's a policeman. He takes in the dog and he tries to train it. And I think the dog is trying to learn, but he's not getting it yet. Yeah, Planet Hollywood. Yep. And they had Circus Soleil down there, remember? That was an awesome show. Loved it. Hey, Amy V. Welcome in. So you heard the dog too, I take it, huh? I shouldn't talk that loud. They can hear me. When the dog doesn't bark, I think that's when he goes on duty. He takes it with him. Ann used to go to those clubs? Yeah, it was open till like 2 or 3 in the morning, right? Unbelievable. It was a great time because you could come back late at night. Yeah, I'm doing good. Yeah. I just figured I'd go live tonight because tomorrow's Sunday and it's a day I spend with my family mostly, through the day. And being a mailman, I work Saturdays, so I had a little time tonight to do this. So I thought I would do this now and then go live again after the show. We could talk about what happens and yeah, no matter how it goes, I'm thrilled that we're able to talk. Anthony, we should mod Chasing Dreams with Mike also. He knows. I know. Did he? I didn't even see him come in. Was he in here tonight? I don't think he was in here. Chasing Dreams with Mike. He's also a vlogger and a Disney creator, and he vlogged the Velocicoaster front row. I think it went viral. That's how good it was. I don't know how you guys do it. I got a gimbal finally. You saw me walking around in Marco Island with it. I'm figuring that out now. So if I ever go to these amusement parks around here, I'll take you guys for a ride, and we'll have a blast. All right, Amy. Yeah, no problem. The thing is, you watch other streamers like take it in the car, go to restaurants with it. I don't know if I'm ready for that yet. I don't know what they'll think of me if I take you guys to like a restaurant in Boston or somewhere really cool. What gimbal did I get? My wife and daughter bought it for me for my anniversary. Actually, they thought it would be cool that I had one. I am not sure what it is. I don't have it right on me right now. All right. Let me see here. I don't want to have to unplug that, but I might have to. That stinks. Take you on my mail route. You know how fired I would be after that? Wow. I'm lucky I can even take a picture of myself with my mail truck. Like, you can't show the number. So many rules. That's like a no-no. Believe me, I would love to. You meet a lot of my customers. There's a customer on my route. He's in all of Kevin James's movies. You know Kevin James, the guy from King of Queens? He's in all his movies. I talk to him all the time about TV. He's a voiceover for a video game too. He said, I don't say much in all these movies, but they call me and they ask me to do a voiceover for a video game, and that's what he does. So he says, just wait. It takes time. Doug Heffernan, I know. I'd love to meet that guy. I would love to meet him. I know. Thanks, Amy. You hear the dog again? At least they're not coyotes. You know what? Well, I try to be positive all the time. You know, things can get you down. Believe me, we all been through a lot, and I try to be upbeat. Listen, I've been gonged off the Gong Show. You know, I've totaled a mail truck before. I've been, I've done all the bad things, and try to look for the positive in everything. You know. All right, we'll go to Canopy Lake. I was thinking of doing that anyway, which is in New Hampshire. Let me call my daughter for a second. Ava.
Yes, sir.
How you doing? This device is on 2%. How can I charge this back up? Because I'm using this for that. Want to say hi? A lot of them know you.
Hi.
So this is my daughter. She wants to do an Etsy shop someday.
Yes. I don't know how to charge this.
I don't want to shut that light off because I'll go dark. Ava, they're talking to you. See them?
What? They are.
Show them how long your hair is. She has the longest hair.
Oh yeah, I'm getting it cut Tuesday. I have a lot of hair.
You getting a cut Tuesday?
Yeah.
All right. With your own money or?
Yeah, okay.
Ava, what do you make? They want to know what you make.
I'm going to be making seashell art.
Seashell art.
Yeah.
So when we went to Marco Island, we loaded up on different types of seashells, and she just makes creative things, owls, kittens with seashells. It's unbelievable. Yeah, she's very artistic. She's gonna take. She wants to take art when she goes to this agricultural school, whatever it is,
It's a
technical school.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're all saying hi.
Yeah.
See, I was trying to look at the chat in here, but I had to put this up. Yep,
It's kind of dark out here.
I know it's getting dark out here now, guys. I'd love to stay on. I got one device that's on 2%. So if I were to stay on, I would stay on without seeing the chat,
Huh?
unless you bring out another device for me.
I don't know how to charge it. Sorry.
Maybe she'll make things like that. I don't know.
What?
Christmas ornaments. You can hang just about anything. You can hang shells. You know. Didn't the Little Mermaid use shells? Yeah, she covered some spots. All right. I know. So, guys, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to tune off. I appreciate you all showing up tonight. It made me feel good that something worked right. I failed to do a live stream the other night. Things didn't go right for me. So I'll be seeing you in the chat. And thank you for all tuning in. I will make more of you mods at some point. Yeah, she gets her looks from me, as you can tell. My wife's a redhead, so kind of looks like the Little Mermaid, actually. Hey, all right, thanks, Mickey. Yeah, like and subscribe, guys. Tell your friends, your kids, anyone who wants a good laugh. We'll enjoy those Molar minutes every 15 minutes, and we'll do some fun things. I promise. And usually every streamer has a line they say at the end of the night. I haven't really thought of anything yet, but all I'm going to say is always try to smile, because it will go a mile. That's what I try to tell people. Because if you're always down, that rubs off on other people too. So I always try to smile. So hopefully it's contagious with you guys. All right. Awesome seeing you guys. I will catch you soon. See you later. Awesome.
What?
You can either keep the event and resume it later, or finish the event and archive on. Either keep the event and resume it later, or finish the event and archive it on YouTube.